Michigan's lesbian attorney general receives anti-Semitic death threat. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, who is a lesbian and Jewish, was one of the state officials threatened by a man who vowed to kill all the Jews in Michigan government if they don't leave office. Nessel tweeted confirming the news. Besides Nessel, Jewish government officials in Michigan include U.S. Representative Elissa Slotkin and several state legislators. A federal court in Detroit has unsealed a criminal complaint against Jack Eugene Carpenter III. He is charged with transmitting an interstate threat. If convicted, he faces a maximum prison sentence of 5 years. Carpenter had tweeted on February 17th from Texas that he was, quote, heading back to Michigan now, threatening to carry out the punishment of death to anyone that is Jewish in the Michigan government if they don't leave or confess, end quote. Carpenter's Twitter feed is peppered with anti-Semitic remarks and right-wing conspiracy theories. He believed Jews had developed the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, to help them achieve world domination. He also tweeted threats against law enforcement officials, several University of Michigan employees, and various well-known people, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, Twitter head Elon Musk, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, and former CNN anchor Chris Cuomo. Wow. It's just kind of astounding where we are. I mean, story after story, it's perplexing and it's also very disturbing. I mean, the Jewish people have suffered persecution, as we know, for many, 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 many years.
Centuries.
And now, centuries, yes. So now it's becoming acceptable because of the rhetoric that's being placed by, since we started with Trump. And
that's where it started.
That's where it started. I mean, that's where it was, not just started, but that was where it was encouraged and made okay.
Normalized.
And normalized. So we were in a very scary place.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what the irony is? This guy threatened Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is the one, as head of Twitter, who is allowing this withdrawal to stay. He is suspending liberal activists for questioning him, but you know he's embracing the entire conservative narrative.
Yeah, you know, freedom of speech doesn't come without consequences.
Exactly.
Not freedom of hatred speech. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that can incite violence. I mean,
exactly. And so, again, it's like, okay, why is this guy not behind bars? What do you mean that you put it? Why is he still riding around like this is okay? This is not okay.
No.
And until people start taking this stuff seriously, acting on it, and showing others that may have these thoughts, you know, I always think, you know, you have to be very careful when you're speaking, right? Everyone sitting at home is not hearing what you're hearing, right? And there's a lot of people at home that have mental illness. There are a lot of people at home that have learning disabilities. There are a lot of people at home. They just don't receive information the same. When you start
especially if they're watching Fox News.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I remember that in the beginning of the COVID day, how many people walked in with burned esophagus because
they were drinking
bleach because Trump thought that it was okay to suggest that if you try, I mean, there were people home who are not, you know, they have other challenges, who thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually try this, right? You have to be very aware. And so guess what? You start throwing stuff like this out, you start throwing words out like pedophile and I want to kill it, I'm going to kill the Jew. I mean, this is insanity, right?
Here's the interesting thing about, you know, if you look at all three of these stories tonight, there's, you know, cross-thread, through line, and intersectionality, and I mean, it's just, it boggles my mind that, you know, I mean, on one level, I'm kind of happy, not that I understand I'm using the word happy for lack of a better term, you know, I caught the picture of him out of the corner of my eye. I'm trying to hold my tongue what I really want to say, but in any event, you know, the fact that he went Jewish versus lesbian, okay, maybe that's a small, very small, very, very, very small victory, but still, I mean, it's like, you know, if it's not the Jews, it's the gays. If it's not the gays, it's the blacks. I mean,
well, and this country has a lengthy legacy of both anti-Semitic and anti-LGBTQ sentiment and rhetoric. And again, because it was sort of, the door was open, the Pandora's box was opened by Trump, people feel like they can just go ahead and do it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
the entitlements are strong here.
And
Yeah.
all the reason why all parties, all peoples who are disenfranchised in any way, we must
Band
stand
together.
together, stand strong,
Absolutely.
speak up, speak out.
We have to do that,
Yes.
and we have to enforce, proper education, and because a lot of this just comes from crazy amounts of misinformation and bad historical information, and so people end up believing because they don't have another narrative. So we have to teach proper history, and we have to teach what's really going on, right?
And then within our families as well. I mean, I have a niece
Absolutely.
who's growing up in a place that's not, it's a Trump land, and I don't know what all information she's getting during the day. So I'm always very proactive about sharing truth.
Correct.
Well, she's lucky to have
within
you.
reason.
Yeah.
And reminding my sister-in-law, truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes the difference.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.